Originally, I was born in Oklahoma, but when I was 2 years old, my parents moved to California after my dad got out of World War II.
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and I came out here to California to make my way as an actor.
Originally, I was born in Hamburg, Germany. I came over quite a while ago when I was about 2 years old, which explains why I have no accent.
I grew up in Denver, Colorado. I met my first girlfriend when I was probably 12 years old. And I still remember going down and visiting with her. She lived way down on the hill, and I drove my bike all the way down. The problem was getting back up the hill. I had to walk to go back.
I had a favorite teacher in 6th grade, and my first day of school I was wearing a pink dress, and so he nicknamed me Pinky.
There was a teacher when I went to Golden West College in Huntington Beach, and he was a great, he was from Canada, French Canadian, and I won't mention his name, but in any case, he encouraged me. And I took a class when I was first beginning my college education and university education. And he was so instrumental in getting me on the right path as far as my thinking and my education. And his class was English. And that wasn't one of my fortes. English was never my subject that I really cared about. But he got me thinking about words and thinking about the way to formulate essays. And I wrote papers that he really enjoyed, and he encouraged me. And I think if he didn't encourage me, I wouldn't have gone on to UC Irvine, which is where I graduated from. So I owe that man a lot. He doesn't know how much I owe him, and I never told him. But he was a great influence in my life. So I'm very, very grateful to him.
I remember going through pictures that my dad had from World War II, because he served with the Flying Tigers in India. He was a radio man, ground radio man, and was drafted even though he was blind in one eye. He went down to sign up right after the war started, and they qualified him 4F because he was blind in one eye from an accident when he was 6 years old. But then about 6 months later, after he was married, they drafted him, and he served as a radio man. But we would go through the pictures that he took of these little kids, because it was in India, and then the planes, the bombers would fly over the China hump, and it was in India, and these little kids that would be starving with their huge bellies out and stuff, going through trash cans. And you know, you really learn to appreciate what you have here, you know, from what they had then. So
I was always in finance. I've been an accounting and finance background. That's how I graduated, and I moved from a trainee accountant to eventually becoming a chief financial officer of a company that was called Rome Electronics.
It's about 10 or 15 years ago. I was rather broke, feeling very sorry for myself. I was driving around looking at some yard sales on a Saturday morning. I stopped at one yard sale. I was massively sorry for myself, just having a really bad day. Sorry that I didn't even have $10 in my pocket to spend. I saw this purse on a table. I went to the lady who was running the sale. I asked her how much she wanted, and she said, "How much are you willing to pay?" Now keep in mind, I had a chip on my shoulder the size of a log. I was feeling incredibly bratty, and I said I would give her a quarter. And to my immense surprise, she said she would take a quarter. So this is what I bought for 25 cents. I went online back then I really don't know much about antiques, but I seem to find that it was about 1910, 1920, and that was probably worth at the time about $250.
I enjoy playing tennis. I was a varsity tennis in junior high and high school. And in fact, my current wife, that's how we met. We met on the tennis court.
And I found out that once my children started having children, they appreciated Mom a lot more. You know, we get those phone calls. Right. But I think one of the things I've learned through life is that you just persevere, you do what you have to do.
So there's been ups and downs in our life, but for the most part, my life's been a blessing, a very big blessing. 9 grandchildren is a big one.
So it's been a long journey, 73 years worth of journey, but I don't regret anything, not a thing.
I'm wishing all my investments would pay as well as this one, $250 for 25 cents.
It's one of those things where we hope by sharing some of my insights as to how I feel about my family and how I feel about my friends can be put onto a video that will help them better understand where I'm coming from, okay, and what's in my heart. Yeah, and I don't think I could do that without some form of assistance, you know.
It's a great story to pass on to my family.